Hi all, for my reflective vlog, I'll be using the what, so what, now what format. First, I delivered a label reading education session to peers at uni. Based on feedback received, I made some changes before delivering the education session to my chosen community group, which were a group of disability support staff working in group homes where adults with intellectual disabilities live. I was extremely nervous to present the session at uni because I knew it was getting assessed. However, I had practiced so many times at home by myself, on my housemates, and on friends. So when I actually started presenting, I felt really confident and I was really happy with how the session went. I received feedback from teaching staff that I'd been a bit too formal with my approach. I realised that I'd been practicing the session as if I was delivering it to a group of strangers rather than a group of colleagues I had developed work relationships with. I think I lost focus of the task and was thinking of it more as a university assessment rather than a chance to practice in the community, and consequently, I hadn't tailored my approach to the needs of my group. When I actually delivered the session to the participants, I took a much more casual approach and I wasn't nervous at all, given I didn't feel like I was being judged by someone marking me, and this allowed me to feel more natural in my approach. The session actually went really well and according to plan. There was an instance where I did notice the participants hadn't clearly understood something in the session. When I asked a participant to identify the ingredient of the largest quantity, she said energy, and I realized she was getting confused between the nutrition information panel and the ingredients list. So I spent some time providing more education on this before moving on with the session. This also happened in the practice session, where teaching staff provided feedback telling me that the Health Star rating was used to compare products within and not across food groups. I already knew this, so I realized that perhaps I hadn't communicated this information in a clear enough way, so I put more emphasis on this during the final session. Both of these instances made me realize that sometimes you think you're presenting information in an easy to understand format, which makes sense to you, but people on the receiving end may not be interpreting it correctly. I think this highlights the importance of reflective observation during the session to see whether your messages are being understood. I really enjoyed watching the participants practice the skills I was helping them build during the interactive activities, and I definitely enjoyed all the positive feedback. When participants said things like, "I can't wait to take this sheet to the supermarket," it made me feel really proud and like all my hard work had paid off. Whilst lecturers continue to tell us that we are the experts in nutrition, I do find myself doubting that, so it was refreshing to feel like I had something to offer to someone. In terms of area for improvement, I believe my confidence is something I need to work on. Whilst I was pleased with myself for not needing to look at my notes throughout the session, I had memorized the session word for word, so in doing that I may have taken away from my authenticity. I was concerned that someone would ask me a question I didn't know the answer to, and often I find myself crippled with feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. I also need to learn to be comfortable with being assessed and work on my ability to take constructive feedback on board from teaching staff without feeling so sensitive.